Do you know how cells communicate during fight or flight? Welcome to your channel ADP for Learning. Everyone has faced during their life, which is either fight or flight, and we will see how our cells respond to that. When our senses perceive an environmental stress such as danger or a threat, cells in the nervous and endocrine systems work closely together to prepare the body for action. Often referred to as the fight or flight or stress response, this remarkable example of cell communication elicits instantaneous and simultaneous responses throughout the body. As shown in the figure, specialized nerve cells descend down from the hypothalamus into the pituitary gland. Sensory nerve cells pass the perception of a threat, or stress, from the environment to the hypothalamus in the brain. Neurosecretory cells in the hypothalamus transmit a signal to the pituitary gland, inciting cells there to release a chemical messenger into the bloodstream. Simultaneously, the hypothalamus transmits a nerve signal down the spinal cord. Both the chemical messenger and nerve impulse will travel to the same destination, the adrenal gland. As shown in the figure, when nerve cells in the hypothalamus fire, corticotrope cells in the pituitary gland are stimulated to release ACTH, a chemical messenger, into the bloodstream. Sitting atop the kidneys, the adrenal glands receive nerve and chemical signals initiated by cells in the hypothalamus. Nerve signals activate the release of epinephrine into the bloodstream. When chemical messengers arrive via the bloodstream, they dock onto receptors and begin a cell signaling cascade that results in the production of cortisol. Cortisol is released into the bloodstream, where it begins signaling cascades in several cell types, resulting in an increase in blood pressure, increase in blood sugar levels, and suppression of the immune system. As shown in figure, the ACTH chemical messengers, sent from the pituitary gland into the bloodstream, arrive at the adrenal cortical cells. When the splanchnic nerve in the hypothalamus fires, a signal is sent down the spinal cord directly to the adrenal gland. So it leads to a boost of energy. Signaling molecules from several origins work to provide an energetic boost in a variety of ways. When epinephrine binds to receptors on liver cells, it triggers a signaling cascade that produces glucose from larger sugar molecules. Circulating cortisol sets fatty acids free to be transformed into energy. These molecules are rapidly excreted into the bloodstream, supplying a boost of readily available energy for muscles throughout the body, priming them for exertion. As shown in the figure, the splanchnic nerve stimulates chromaffin cells in the adrenal gland to release epinephrine, a chemical messenger, into the bloodstream. Epinephrine is an important cell signaling molecule in the fight or flight response. Also known as adrenaline, epinephrine is an efficient messenger that signals many cell types throughout the body with many effects. In the lungs, epinephrine binds to receptors on smooth muscle cells wrapped around the bronchioles. This causes the muscles to relax, dilating the bronchioles and allowing more oxygen into the blood. At the sinoatrial node of the heart, epinephrine stimulates pacemaker cells to beat faster. This increases the rate at which other chemical signals, glucose and oxygen, are circulated to the cells that need them. Epinephrine also contracts specific types of muscle cells below the surface of the skin, causing beads of perspiration and raised hairs at the surface. The fight or flight response is a complicated systemic reaction. These are just some of the instantaneous messengers and physiologic changes involved. In fact, the initial perception of a threat or danger is also received by an area in the brainstem that begins yet another axis of communication and response involving the release of the messenger norepinephrine. Like cortisol and epinephrine, norepinephrine travels throughout the body, triggering cell signaling cascades in a number of cell types. Regardless of their kind, or point of origin, cell signaling molecules involved in the fight or flight response work closely together. Their overall effect is an increase in circulation and energy to certain body systems, and a downshift of less important ones into maintenance mode. In this way, the fight or flight response prepares the body for extreme action. Thank you for joining me in this fantastic journey of learning. We will again meet with new innovative topics. Meanwhile, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to your own YouTube channel, ADP for Learning.